If you're in a hurry to make a website in Wix, this is the right tutorial for you, as I will speed through all the basics of Wix editor, how you can use templates and utilize built-in AI text generator to speed up the process. We will build this awesome looking website, but you can choose any website out of hundreds of templates. And obviously everything will work perfectly on mobile devices. And at the end, I'll show you how to connect a domain name so your website looks professional and ready to go. Hello internet people, my name is Robert, and let's start by going to this URL right here, or just click on the first link in the video description. I'll add it there too. And you land on this page, and here you just enter your email and you can sign up for free like this. Start now. And now it will ask you to also add a password so you can log in. Again, totally free to start and try out, and if you're happy with it, only then you need to pay. Then it'll ask you some questions. If you want to speed it up, you can also skip them, but it helps you to personalize some of the templates and stuff, so I think it's better to answer them. Let's answer for my business. In my case, I'm building a music teacher, so it's a website for a music teacher. Okay, so when you start out, when it's your first time, you get a lot of help from Wix. You can see here, for example, let's set up your business details. Now, I'm gonna skip this one because we're gonna set this up a bit later. So I'm just gonna click on this and close the pop-up here. So this is your Wix dashboard, and this is where you control everything in your website. On the left, you have the main menu, and from here, we're gonna go through some of these settings. So let's just start by building a website. So go to home, and then here you have design the site. Now, Wix is asking you if you wanna use their AI-powered page builder or use a template. I'm gonna pick template in this case. I'm not a big fan of the AI. Maybe one day it'll be better. Now you can see that you see all the most popular templates they have. And if you need anything else, you can just click here. You see there's hundreds of templates. So I'm sure you'll find something that inspires you. So let's say I'm building a website for a music teacher. So I'm gonna look at consulting and coaching. And from here, let's see if I find anything interesting. Okay, this one looks really interesting, so I can preview it. You see, I click on view, and now I can see the whole site like this. I can scroll through it, I can click through all these pages, and then if I'm happy with it, I can click on edit this site. So now it will install this whole website in our dashboard. Okay, and this is the Wix editor, and this is where all the magic happens. This is where you're gonna build your pages. First things first, let's take a look at how to change the text. So I can just double click on the text, and let's double click, and now I could change it to something else. So learn music, for example, and then you can change this text. If you just click on it and drag it anywhere else, you can change the position of the text. So for example, if I want this subtext to be underneath here, I can do that. Same thing, for example, the social bar, I don't need it, so I'm going to click on it and right click on this, and you can delete it from here, or you can just press on delete on your keyboard. If you did something wrong, you can always undo what you've done by clicking on this arrow here, and there's also redo here. Now it's not working because it was saving while I was working, so let's see. And another cool feature here, what you can do is, since this my website will be about music, I can click on this text, and you see here there's a create AI text. You can use AI to generate text for you. So let's try it. What's your business? Music teacher. So this is my business name, and now I can just take the text type. In this case, it's going to be paragraph, and it's going to be in the welcome part. So this is like the first part they see. And if there's something important, you can emphasize here. So for example, I can say that this is easy and affordable, and now I can create the text. Now the AI will generate 3 suggestions, and I can use them. There's your 3 suggestions, and I mean, some of them are all right. They're a bit too long, so I can just now use this text, and you see it directly pastes it here in the text field. Now, as you notice, this is way too long for this section, so I'm gonna shorten it up. Again, click on this, and I just delete this. A bit better now. I can now choose this text, and here on the right, you can adjust the formatting. You see, you have heading 5 here, for example. Actually, this is a paragraph, so I'm going to choose the paragraph so it looks a little bit smaller. And from here, you can also change the color of the text. So for example, if you want to spice it up, green, whatever. There are other features here, like you can make this into a link if you want, or just pick one word and make that into a link. And you control also other settings here in terms of text editing. Let's close this one. And now, since we have this background, I want to change it to something that I've done. So let's click on this one here and make sure you have this section selected. You see it from here. And by the way, if you want to change this name of this section, you can just click on this icon here and rename the section. So now you could say hero banner, and now it will change there. Again, I'll click on this part. Usually just click on here on the sides, and now you can change the background of this section. Right now it's set to video, but I want it to be an image. So I'm going to click on that, and you have different options. You can use one of the stock photos from Wix, Shutterstock, or Unsplash. But in my case, I'm going to upload files because I don't have anything yet there. So I'm going to click here, upload media, and upload from computer. And I prepared some images already here, so I'm gonna just upload all of them here, except this one. I selected all the images by clicking on the first image, then I was pressing Shift, and while holding Shift, I clicked on the last image, so it selects all of them. And then let's click on Open. Now it will just upload all of those images. That took about a minute, so I'm gonna close it. And now I'm gonna choose my hero banner from here. And you could crop it, adjust some color settings here, but usually it's okay. I'm going to click here and change the background. Now you see my image appears here. This is great. It looks much better now, but I'm not happy. Now the text is kind of, over the face. Let's change that quickly. I'm going to change this text and adjust it so it's like this. And then when I click on this text, again, I need to double click on it. This appears, and from here I can adjust the layout. So I'm going to adjust it here. And this is way too big. I'm going to change it to something smaller like this. And same thing for this one. I can also click here, edit text, and it will open the same pop-up. And from here, I can adjust the alignment. And I can take now this button here to the left. You see these two lines, right? And this is something Wix considers like no-go zones, because if on certain device sizes, it might not show up. So, for example, if this face would be too much on the right, on the smaller sizes, it might just not show up there. So that's why you need to be careful with this. And since we're talking about the structure of the website, I want to show you just quickly how this works in Wix. So I'm just grabbing my action camera and let's take a look. How Wix works. It has the header. So this is the header. And then you got at the bottom the footer. Like this. Okay, I went a bit crazy with the footer. And then in between you have sections, and you can have as many sections as you want. Right now I'm just gonna have 2. That's a section. And then inside a section you can have elements. So let's say you put in some title here. You could now randomly put sections inside this, put elements inside of this section. So you have an image here or a button here. You could really go crazy here. But to keep it really structured, you can use something called strips. And strips are basically same like a container. It's a container that you can then go ahead and actually change to columns. So let's say I have here an element, which is a header. And then inside, still in this section, but outside the text element, I can have a strip. This is how Wix calls them. It's like a container. Inside, let's call this here strip. So inside this strip, you can have columns. So let's say you have 3 columns here. And then inside of each column, you can have, for example, this could be an image. The whole column could be an image. Then you can have some text here. And you could have here a button or even a video, whatever you want. And this is how you structure it. And the cool thing is when you go from desktop to mobile, all of this will be stacked on each other. Oh yeah, and something to mention is that the header and footer, when you update them, they stay across all pages. So you update them once on one page and they will show up the same on all the different pages. Okay, now you know about the structure. So let's adjust quickly this button because the text doesn't fit us. We can again adjust this text from here and, for example, book, and nice. And now, if you click on this one, on this link icon here, you can link that to a page. So you can directly link it to a web address, but if it's on your website, just link it to a page. You can click here on page, And now you can choose where to link it. You see that there's few options. You might be wondering, why do I have so many options? It's because you installed this specific template. So now you have all of these pages that were part of the template. So you might have to delete some of them, but that's not a biggie. So let's say book an appointment. Let's see if they already pre-installed it. No, there's now no booking appointment. Oh yeah, here it is, booking calendar. I'm gonna link to that and now it's done. Now the thing is, I like how the page looks like, but all this yellow stuff, not a big fan. I wanna change that. But it's kind of tedious to go through each of them one by one. I don't want to do that. Wix has a solution for us. So let's take a look. If you click here, site design, from here, you can change the design. So let's click here, color and text theme. First of all, let's look at text. Here you see that you have your headings, and this is what font family and the sizes they use. If you scroll down, there's also paragraphs, but you can change the theme from here because this doesn't speak to me. Here's like pre-built themes that you can already choose from here. Let's see. I like, for example, this quicksand. Let's give it a go. Yes, much better. I like that. And let's go up and go back. Now, if you didn't like one of the themes, you can just go ahead and change all of these headings one by one to whatever you want. There's much more font options here. So for example, pop-ins, if you like that, you can choose from here. But for me, this preset is totally fine. So let's go back and change the color scheme as well. So now from here, colors, you see these are your colors now. If you change this one to something else, it will automatically adjust all those elements that are linked to it to that same color. So in my case, I want something purple, but it's a little bit darker, maybe like this. No, I actually like the purple like this one here. I think it's close to my logo. Cool. If you know your hex number for a logo, you can also place it in here. If you have already a logo, but you don't know your color hex numbers, then you can come to this website. It's called coolers.co. I don't know how to pronounce that. And what you can do here, let's close this, come to the start the generator, and then here, click on this icon. We're gonna upload our logo here. This is my logo, and I wanna know what purple color is that. Let's see. Now it will check it, and let's click on next here and open in the generator. Now you see all of these colors. That's what it detected from the image. So I believe this is the main purple color or bluish. I don't know which one you see. Let's copy now this hex number. So it's this number, and hex number is just the number for that specific color. So we can now come to our editor and copy it here and click on apply, and you see it's there now. So now everything is in the color I wanted. Now this one is a bit too dark. I could change it to slightly brighter color, but let's keep it to what it was. So apply. Let's go back. So that was like manual way of adjusting. You also have few options here. The templates they give you, these are different colors they suggest. So you can use one of those. So let's go back. If you want to change the background color from here, you can. You see that it doesn't actually show up in that many places, except maybe here. I'm going to do that. I don't like that. I want to just have something very like a white color or something like that. Let's see. No, I don't want a image. I just want a white color from here. Then let's close this theme editor, or site design, I think it's called. Now, if you want to add something to this, you can always come here and click on add elements. And you see you have a lot of options here, and there are the strips that I talked about earlier. And strips actually have more elements than just a strip. You can have a classic strip, which is empty strip. Sometimes you need that when you build a new section, but you also have pre-built sections here, or pre-built strips with other elements in it. But let's in this case say we want to add a button. So I'm gonna just come to buttons, theme buttons, and now I'm gonna pick this up. So I'm holding my mouse and then just dropping the button here. And now you see it appears here. I could now adjust this button, change the text, color, and so on. And I could build this way the whole site. I'm gonna just delete this by clicking on delete on my keyboard because I don't need this button right now. Now, once you start building things and you see that everything works on desktop, you need to check also how it works on mobile. So if I click here on this icon, this is the mobile view. The cool thing about Wix is that when you do any changes in mobile view, it doesn't reflect on the desktop. So all the changes you do here, they stay in here. So you can go crazy. So for example, if I now change this button position, it's not gonna show up on the desktop. I mean, like, it's not gonna reflect that change. So my desktop stays as is. Now this is a bit too cramped, I feel. So I'm gonna just adjust this a little bit. And like this, I can create a bit of more space. for the sections. One trick you can learn here, if you select this text and then press Shift on your keyboard, you can select multiple elements like this. And now you could create also a group from these if you want to. Okay, the text is a bit, it's not really readable here, so I'm going to keep it where it was. And this way you can adjust things in the editor. But always check your mobile because the most traffic is there. So once you're done on mobile, you can come back to desktop. And one more thing about the mobile, if you click here on any of this text, you can adjust, for example, the size. So if the text is too big on mobile, you can adjust the size here. And again, it will not reflect in the desktop design. So to go back to desktop, you can click on this icon here. And sometimes Wix is a bit slow changing from one view to another, so you just need to be patient with this. And now that we've done so many changes, let's make sure we save this page. So click on Save from here. You could choose now the name or the URL for this page. Since this is my home page, that's how I'm going to call it, home. Let's see if it allows me. Okay, there's already a home page, so I'm going to just call it home-page. Oh, okay, there's even that. That's interesting. Let's call it something else. Call it Inspire. Here you go. Save and continue. Yes. So now we've saved this. This is how it's called. And at any point, if you want to preview this page, let's close this one. You can click on this preview button. And you might be wondering, why would I preview? I already see it here in the editor, but some of the features don't work in the editor, but they do in previews. For example, if I scroll here, if there's videos, they would work in the preview, but they don't work in the editor. So you would just check things here. And again, you can check your mobile device from here as well. Once you're done previewing, you just can click on this back to editor. I want to show you a few tools from here. Sometimes things get a bit tricky and you have, for example, here, if I click on tools and layers, when the two elements go on top of each other, it's sometimes really hard to get to the one on the bottom. So you can use this layers. So just to show you here, I have the page, I have the section, which is the hero banner, and then I have a strip inside of it. And inside strip, there's a text and this text. So it's learn music and this one. And then we have book appointment button. Great. So now you could click on this from the layers tab, and now it selects that button. So you can now adjust it or move it up in a hierarchy. Let's close this one. And another thing in the tools, you have this toolbar. Sometimes you need it to adjust. For example, let's select this whole section. And from here, you could select the height directly from here. So if you need something very accurate, sometimes this is just a better way. I put a different number here, press enter, and now you see it adjusted it. It went down like that. Let's close this one. And if we scroll down, and let's say at some point, okay, we have the blog section. We want to add a new section. How do we do that? Well, we come here and you see you have here add section. We're going to click on it. And now you can choose either you add some template. So it's a template of a section. You could add it from here. Or if you want to build it up yourself and you don't see anything inspiring here, you can click on blank section and it will now add that section there. You see there's now blank space here. You see Wix is a bit struggling here, goes up and down, but you need to be just patient. And now I could come and fill this section with elements by clicking here and choosing elements I like. And then what you can do with sections, sometimes you place it in the wrong place. You can either just grab it and drag it to the right place or click on these arrows here and it will just push it down or up, whatever you choose. And from here, you also can edit this section. At some point, you're done with this page. You'll need to create new pages. You can do that by clicking here. And since this is a template, you already have quite a lot of pages, so you can just use those. Or maybe you don't want to use them, then just delete them. And from here, you can just change, what are you editing? So, and now I'm in the About page, and you can see I can change things here. Let's go to home page. It's a bit more familiar, and I already have some of my elements there. Let's take a look at the header and footer. And remember that header and footer, they are global elements, and that means you only update them once, and they will show up everywhere the same. So now I can click on this part, which is the header, and here we have the logo, which is nice, but I want to use my own logo. Since it's an image, I can click on it. Oh, actually, it's not an image. Let's delete it. I want to just add my image because I have it as an image. So I'm going to add elements, choose an image from here, upload or import. Yes, this is the logo I want to use. So I'm going to just drag it in here. And it's a bit too big, then no worries. I'm just going to add it here. Before resizing this container box, I'm going to delete it. I don't need it. It's just in the way. Let's delete it. And now I can see my whole logo. Way too big, but you see that the color now matches with the text. Cool. And then if I click on this image and if I click on, I believe, settings, I can add a link here, add link. Let's click on link and let's choose from pages, the home page, because that's how it usually is. If you click on the logo, it opens up the home page of the website. All right, let's close that one. And now what's important for a header is to update this horizontal menu. If you don't have that, if you're doing this from scratch, you can always come here to elements, menu and anchoring. So from here, you can actually choose the menu. Now you might be wondering, where is it getting all these pages? Like I have experience, online courses. It's automatic and we'll just adjust it in a second. But from here, you can add these menus. So you just drag this one in here, it will show up. Or if you want to have vertical one, you can also do it from here. So, but let's close this one. We already have one. If I click on it and manage menu, you see now you can manage it. I don't like to show home, and that's what they've done already. They already hid it, so you can hide it from here or show it. For me, I won't have any packages, so I'm gonna just hide it from here. Same thing with the blog. So from here, I'm gonna just hide it. And the experience, not sure I'm gonna, no, actually this courses, I don't think I'll need it. Let's hide it as well. And you see it reflects in this design as well. It changes immediately. My menu is much smaller now. And you see that it actually changed the page to online courses. So let's go back to homepage. So I feel safe. That's my safe space, homepage. Let's go back there. And you see that the header is exactly the same here as in the other one. Now with this header, when you start scrolling, it doesn't seem to have any background color. So I'm going to click on this. So I'm clicking on this one and this appears. Change the strip background. Yes. I'm going to change it to, for example, white. Now I can actually see it. And we can just drag it here up like this. Nice. So I click here on the header, right click, and you see header scroll settings, choose that. Now you get to choose if the menu just scrolls with the page. So then when you scroll, it just disappears, or it freezes. So it's always locked. You always see the menu. That's what I want. I want to lock it. I just like to see always the menu and people can navigate wherever they want. So I'm going to choose that one. And now you'll notice that you don't notice anything here. You would need to save this one and preview it. So that's about it for a header. And then if you scroll down, you have the same settings for footer. So footer and header, they're pretty much the same. You have footer here. You see it's here if you click on it. Same settings. You can adjust your page to your liking. Now, before we move on from this page, I want to show you some cool features that you can do very easily in here in the Wix. If I click on this section, for example, at the top, you have a few options here. You can obviously change the background scroll effect. So let's start with that. Right now, it doesn't have any effect, but if you want any effects, you can choose from here. For example, there's many different choices, but quite popular one is the parallax one. So I'm going to choose it. Again, nothing happens because we're not in the preview, but let's save this. And I'm going to click on preview. Okay, once it loads, and now you can see if you scroll, there's this parallel effect. Pretty cool, right? It's not just a static, it just moves a different pace than your scroll. So I really like it. With these effects, be really careful. Just choose one or two places where you use this. It doesn't look professional if there's too much happening. So let's go back to the editor and I'm going to show you another cool thing that you can do in Wix. And they're called dividers. And dividers, these sound okay. They divide sections, but they can do more than that. Again, I'm going to do this to my hero banner. If I click on the section, cool. Now this showed up. You have here layout, but you also have shape dividers. So I click on here. I can choose, for example, the inverted ellipse. And now you see I'm here choosing for the bottom one. I've chosen it, but it's now behind, I believe, here. So let's try it. Okay, now I see the problem. Here is this one. You see there's a blue one. Let's go back to this shape divider. And we just need to change the color from here. So right now it's too dark. We can choose the same color that it's already used on the page. And now you start seeing that it looks really cool, right? It's not just, straight lines. You now have a bit of shapes here, like this, for example. You can also add a bit of layer effect like this. And now, instead of just rough lines, you have a bit of curves. You can add waves. You can add whatever you want from these options. Okay, let's just save what we've done and then let's take a look at the apps. Now, apps are really powerful in Wix because they add more features to your Wix builder. And sometimes you actually need them. Some of them are built by Wix and some are by third parties. And some of them cost money to use. They usually have free trial, but they do cost. But for example, we can now go here, add apps. And from here, you can add, for example, a blog. Now, for this template, it's already installed. There's a blog, but you could just come here and search for blog. And you see there's Wix blog. And in this case, it says already open. It would say something install or something similar if it wasn't already installed. So you can just browse it from here, what they have, If you're missing some feature from Wix, you can always install them through this tool. And apps are super powerful. They just add more features because out of the box, Wix doesn't have enough features, I would say. Okay, let's close this app one. And now we are ready to change this ugly URL from the top. So you see, I mean, if you just paste this and go live with this one, nobody's going to take you seriously because this looks too spammy. You need to buy a domain name. Now, I personally don't like to buy domain names directly from Wix or any other web hosting providers or page builders. I usually buy them from Namecheap, but it's easier to buy them from Wix, and you also get them for free with the plan. So if you click here, connect your domain, you can now choose if you get a new domain, so you purchase it from Wix, or you connected a domain you already own. So let's just pretend I'm going to buy a new domain name from here. The cool thing is if you sign up for a year plan with Wix, then you get a domain name for free. This is the different plans that Wix offers. And I would say for most people, the normal website plan is fine. I would use this combo plan because you don't have the Wix branding. But if you want to sell anything on the website, if you want to have a booking calendar on the website, then I would go with the business basic. That should be more than enough for those needs. There's a lot of space, and when you're starting out, you're not going to have a lot of traffic yet. So this one should be more than enough. From here, let's say I need this one because I'm going to sell products and also have a booking. I want to book appointments through here. So I'm going to select this. And from here, obviously you can choose for how long you do this. And the longer you take, the cheaper it gets. But this is just a tutorial, so I'm going to use the monthly one. From here, you would just enter the payment details and finish your purchase. And let's take a look at what happens after that. And once you've paid, you see this page. Congratulations, your site is premium. Great. Now we get all the features that you get with that plan. Now we also need to find the domain name. It might have asked that before, so just search for a domain name you're looking for. Steve and Sounds. Let's try if you can find it. .com. Search for it. Steve and Sounds is available, which is actually surprising. So I'm gonna just do it. Let's where is it? Get it. Yes. Woo. Can get it. So select for how long you want to have this domain name. Again, not sure if you need this part. Then enter your contact details. And then just click on the continue. I would recommend using the privacy protection just because if you don't, then all your details will show up publicly in a public database, basically, which is called Whois. There's nothing you can do about it unless you take a privacy protection. So then let's head to continue. And obviously now you would enter your details and purchase this domain name. I'm not going to purchase it because I already have a domain name and I'm going to use that. And just for the end, I want to show you some important settings that you need to set so that your website is discovered through SEO. First of all, go to settings. Another interesting one is website settings, and it is here. You see that the site is published. That's good. You can unpublish it here just in case you're not happy with it. We need to change the name here. I'll change it to Steve and Sounds. So then it's the brand name. All right, that's the name. And then if we take a look here, manage domain, no, we're not going to change anything here. Fav icon, really important. It's this little icon here at the top. You see right now it's Wix. For this website, they have this one. You can upload any square image. Preferably it's a transparent one, but it's up to you. I'm going to upload the image. And from here, I'm going to just select this one, choose file. And now you can see this is how it's going to appear. Really cool, right? A little icon here at the top when you have a tab. It just looks so sweet. Then you can also adjust this social media image. I can just upload my logo here like this. So if anybody shares a page, this is what's going to show up. Now maybe I could have taken a look at the sizes here, but for now it's okay. If you have Facebook, you could add it here. And then when you're ready, just click on save. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos about how to run and grow your business online through tutorials, tips, and tool reviews. Now, I've just shown you the basics of how to use Wix. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, check my complete guide by clicking on this video banner here. I'll explain everything in much more detail and take everything step by step. So you built a website now, but without telling Google that it's live, it's going to take months to show up in Google search. This is why I created this video where I'll show you how to sign up for Google Search Console and submit your website to Google Search.